we go. How you guys doing? We're back. This is Individual Perspective Podcast. Yes. We're continuing. Pretty much, we're doing a wrap up of our Yes. We're see. I'm monitoring how it sounds or if the audio's coming in good. But we're. I always say that my Individual Perspective Podcast is about making sure that the truth is documented and it's communicated. And I've been doing this for so long and stuff, and I always kind of do these podcasts and big events and everything like that. Because we do not want the historical data and what's the true perspective of the moment we're living in to be like what people feel for the vibe they feeling at the moment. You want it to live to the test of time, and that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that this inauguration has, even at just my reaction, even if it's just for my own self gratification, my reaction to the inauguration and stuff like that. So part one was about the preemptive leading into the actual inauguration. Part two is about the morning of the inauguration and everything like that. And then now in this part, we're going to start from them showing up at the White House, having the tea with Biden and Kamala and Vice Vance, and then their spouses and everything like that. And then we're going to go into the ceremonies and stuff like that. And then the balls and the inaugurations, or like the ceremony, the balls, and then the aftermath of that. That's what we're gonna do. I think it's gonna be about I think we're gonna do about maybe 40 total. So it'd be the inauguration ceremony, part 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and hopefully I don't have to do a 5. Okay, so let's get to. So where we left off at was the pastor from Detroit talking to Jake Tapper of CNN about why he's a supporter of Trump and everything like that, and the good book. So let's just jump right on in and do the arrival of the this looks interesting. Let me look and see. Yeah, this the arrival of everybody coming to the White House. Okay, let's get started. Hey, you know what? I know. That's what I forgot to do. How you guys doing this evening? Yeah. My life is very interesting right now. Very interesting. Because my mindset is pretty changed from who I was, and how I moved 6 years ago, even 6-7 years ago. And then what I do right now is based on if my theory, before jumping into like full-headed 100% of my heart into the film industry, and what was my premonition of the industry and my peers and the culture and the business acumen of the people that I'm coming into contact with and stuff, and how did all that work out, and what did it was my preconceived notions accurate or not? And because they were so accurate, scary accurate, and I everything that's going on, I pre-called it. I knew it. I knew that it was gonna end up like this. Let me know that I have to have discipline to hold my understanding, my education, my skill level, my abilities, I gotta hold it high. I'm not even allowed to be passive about it anymore. I'm not even allowed to be quiet about it anymore. I'm not even allowed to just be where I don't speak my value. I don't communicate my value because it's physically real now. It's not an idealism. I have done so much work, so much like nothing to something that is I have to advocate for myself now, very bluntly and brutally. And the bad part about that is that I'm finding more opposition to me because of that. And the opposition of me not advocating myself is my destruction. So the bad part about it is so many people that know me, they know what my abilities are, they know what my end goal is, and they're willing to have my destruction for what they're perceived that's going on, what their perception is of what's popping off or what's in my head, and they won't have an open conversation with me and let that be the hypothesis or the conclusion that they come up with. They come up with their own. So now it's like how people come at me is with their mental illness instead of what it is and what's discussed is. I'm a very logical and open person. You can't do a podcast and do podcasts for a decade or so and not have a total openness to how you communicate. It's very rare. You're gonna find a podcaster that in their personal life or whatever they're doing in the exterior of the podcasting is that they don't really have an openness to logical conversations and blunt conversations and open conversations. But that's what it is. And the reason why I mention that is because in this time, I call it the Trump era. The Trump era is about opening your eyes to the system. And Trump had to put his life and his family and his legacy and his company and his wealth on the line in order for us to see the true physicality, the true operations of the system. And I think that people deciding not to even acknowledge it. Like we're having a conversation with family and friends and the community and business partners and people like that. We're having conversations like we gonna lie to each other still to act like what's communicated has not been communicated. No, it's been communicated, and now we gotta really be objective and have an objectivity into our communication and know what it is. It is. Okay? Individual Perspective Podcast is when your truth is the objective truth. And the only way your truth could be the objective truth is you vetted everything. Nothing gets past you without a true, blunt, and dissectable scrutiny and analyzation of what it is in the physical realness of what's going on. So you're not able. So that way, when you start to communicate something, it's been vetted. It's known to be true and factual, and it can stand to the test of time because of its truthfulness. And that's what it is. So, look, the era of Trump is something, and it's very revealing, and it's heartbreaking. And what's revealing, what's revealed. You know what I mean? It's heartbreaking. The Trump era has made the world have to show what it is and take off the mask. And you'll find that it's heartbreaking to see the culture, the level up culture has made people so vicious and devious and like uncivilized and almost very like it's just messy. It's just just terrible. So I always say that, you know, everybody acts like they're for the black community to have families and good communication between men and women. But how can you do that when the value of a man is if he makes over six figures or not? And this world is built and is survived in the heartbeat of our culture, of our civilization, of our country lives on a garbage man doing a great job and doing his job with integrity for 40 grand a year. You know what I mean? If he lucky, he could get up to 50 grand a year, maybe 56. You know what I mean? Or a shelf stocker in a grocery store, or shipping dock guy, maybe making 45 to 55,000 a year. And different people in the airport fields and different just things that's got to get done, and that the average person will make. I'm talking about a good, hard-working, highly integrity and great human being, and one of the best people on the planet, for how just the majority of people are going to be making from, if they're lucky, 35 to 65,000 a year. I'm talking about, and they got clout in their jobs, you know. And we say that those people don't deserve to be married, they don't deserve to have kids unless they make it six figures and over. And that's like, man, what would this society be if we allow that to be the value of family and marriage and like honor and integrity? You know, and it's just like, if you're lucky, you got a 10% of the population that would get married. You know, it's pretty brutal. You know, so look, I know I'm just letting you guys know there's a lot going on in our culture and our society. So, you know, this Trump era has revealed the truth. So, okay, let's go to the inauguration day and the arrival in the morning for the tea with the president. And like, everybody come to have tea with President Biden on his last day and before the incoming of the new president. Okay, so let's get started.
As we're having this conversation, some live pictures there at the White House. President Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, the First Lady there, we're told, preparing to receive the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, and the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, here in just a moment. That's who we expect to hop out of the back of that limousine there. But Kristen, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, and these images are so striking because this is a tradition that goes back years and years. And of course, it did not happen 4 years ago. Then President Trump did not welcome President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden. But here they are. President Biden has said the transition of power is critical, the smooth transition of power. So following American history.
Yeah, they try to put him in jail for the rest of his life, 134 years. So, you know, we don't have to be civilized to garbage people like that. But them needing to be civilized to Trump and everything like that, yeah, because you're a loser and you're a weak person. And what you tried to get done didn't happen and it failed. So get on your knees and kiss my foot. That's what the Trumpers are saying. That's what our movement and everything, and that's what it's about. Get this system on their knees and beg for their life. That's what we want.
At the White House, President Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, the First Lady there, we're told, preparing to receive the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, and the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, here in just a moment. That's who we expect to hop out of the back of that limousine there. But Kristen, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, and these images are so striking because this is a tradition that goes back years and years, and of course it did not happen 4 years ago. Then President Trump did not welcome President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden. But here they are. President Biden has said the transition of power is critical, the smooth transition of power. So following through with this critical
transition. We're seeing these traditions, and let's not forget Kamala Harris, of course, the vanquished opponent of Donald Trump. And so they greet, perhaps for the last time, a good morning air kiss from the president and vice president. And they will be in a few moments out there on those steps again, Hallie, as I turn to you, to greet Donald Trump and Melania Trump. And again, more history. We have Donald Trump returning to office for a second term after an interregnum of 4-year absence. And this has happened only one other time in our American history. But there's the shot, the president and the vice president for a final moment and some moments inside now the White House before the incoming president and first lady
awkward.
And vice
she
president.
She was trying to hold his hand, and it was just so awkward, and they couldn't even do that right. Watch this.
First lady and vice president.
That's so funny.
And the vice president for a final moment and some moments inside now the White House before the.
So Doug, did he like why didn't he continue to hold her hand? I guess he had to go right behind her so they can go first. I get it. Okay, that's interesting though. Watch this. She's reaching for his hand.
And some moments inside now the White
he
House.
Holding it, and then he let it go.
And first lady and vice president and
interesting.
And second lady.
Body language is everything. Body language is everything. You know what I mean? Yeah, it tells you a lot. Okay, so let's go to the next clip. And that's Vance. And I guess Kamala and her husband, they're waiting for them to come out. Very interesting. Let's see if I can take some of this sound out. So Usha, Vance, and Vance, they kind of, taking their little photos and stuff, and they meeting the vice president and the first gentleman. You know what I mean? So, well, no, second gentleman. And Doug Imhoff, but it's so interesting. Power. I gotta love the American people. They don't want this. Not the American people. I'm talking about Biden and Kamala. They don't want like Vance and Trump ascending to the presidency. That is so confusing. Why did they not have like a person assistant to the White House curate that? You know what I mean? For the pomp and circumstances. Very interesting. Sorry that I'm so tired, guys. I've been doing so much, but it's so awesome. I love being here with you guys, and I love doing this. I really, that's why I've been really fighting to do it, because I want to do it right, and I want to do it just for justice and stuff. And I do so much prep work for the clips and everything like that. But at the same time, there's a lot going on, and I got to make sure that I get out there and get it and keep the strength of what I'm trying to accomplish with my films. I got 6 films coming out, guys, and we'll talk about that somewhere down the line. But and then the podcast, I want it to be bigger and bigger. If you go see my clips and stuff, I'm always kind of doing daily clips and little short clips and everything, just to try to get the interaction with this the podcast as much as I possibly can. So I'm working a lot and I'm doing a lot. And yes, it's a dog fight because I find, you gotta overcome what others' attention is for you, for what you have in mind for yourself. You have to fight for you really do have to advocate for yourself. So that's where the exhaustion coming in. But look, dude, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get past this. We're gonna get through this episode of the ceremony of the inauguration of Trump 2025. I love it. Let's get back on it. So interesting. And they did have assistants there. So why not have them, like, tell them, oh, you come over here, you come over here, you stand over here, you stand over here, you stand over here. You get what I'm saying? So why not have them like that? So, okay. But look, it's all interesting. All this is just very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's go to the next clip.
Dana, we're about to see a moment here together.
What a beautiful shot that is of the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, 18 acres there. And the president-elect's motorcade is now underway. They are holding for a moment just to make sure that Joe Biden and Dr. Joe Biden are positioned at the North Portico to receive them. We know that J.D. Vance and his wife Usha are already inside with Kamala Harris, the vice president, and the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff. We've got about 2 more hours for those titles. Bill?
You know, Dana, the clock says 11:47 for the swearing in. So by my watch, we're, 2 hours away from that. And based on the current schedule, it looks like we are right on time. And we need that, Dana, because it's written in the Constitution. So stand by. We'll watch it together now from the North Portico
Here we go.
of the White House.
Welcome home. Biden said, welcome home. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Power boy. Power boy. I'm telling you, man, this is a great time to live. I tell you, I'm happy for President Obama. You know that's going down in history. But boy, I'm happy for Trump. You guys don't understand how much he, as a individual citizen going into the presidency, represents every American citizen. Most presidents have been generals, so they've been part of the military complex of the country, or they were senators or congressmen or governors or something like that. They were part of the picking by other senators and congressmen and groups of elite politicians and stuff like that. Trump is a person that decided, I you guys are complete morons, and I'm going to run for president, and I'm not going to go through your steps. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you guys don't understand how much President Donald J. Trump is a poster child for individuality and individualism of an American citizen and their constitutional rights. You guys don't even understand that, and hopefully you'll watch all my podcasts, you'll listen to all my podcasts, and you'll see that I laid it out pretty damn good, okay? There they go.
Well,
There you have it, Bill,
it's
the
tea
moment
time,
we've all
Dana.
been waiting for.
Yeah.
Indeed. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, no, it's tea time at the White House, and just thinking about that here, there's, I mean, maybe a couple hundred people behind us here at Emancipation Hall, and they erupted in cheers.
Okay, so that just kind of let you guys know. So now, if I'm not mistaken, everybody start to kind of leave to go to the actual inauguration. So we're gonna watch that. Oh no, it's not. That's another clip of what we just got to watching. So we don't need to watch that. Okay, next clip.
And his. That's all right. If you do, you can pick it up and just put it in the bushes. We'll take care of it. They're coming out. Coming out.
So Usha and Doug Emhoff, they kind of ride together. So second gentleman and Vice President Vance, his wife Usha Vance, they ride together to the inauguration ceremony and in the limo together. Pretty interesting. So let's see how that works out. Somebody else coming out? Nah, there's nobody else coming out. So let's go. Let's see what the next clip is. Okay, let's see how this. Let me look at this. Give me 1 second. No, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so let's watch this.
It's an excellent point, Major. Thank you so much for pointing that out about the size and scope of the federal workforce and in what states where they are centered. You can now see the first ladies together entering one of the presidential limos to make their way to Capitol Hill. Just want to update you, just a short time ago, President Biden was asked, what's your message today? And he answered and said, my message is simple, it's hope. And then they asked him, did you write Trump a letter? And he said, I did. And then he was asked, what did you say? And President Biden said, that's between Trump and me. And the tradition continues as a president leaving for his successor a letter in the White House. John Dickerson.
They eventually come.
Okay, trying to see, because they have a lot of people that's kind of showing up.
Down. So this moment of traveling from Blair House to the White House and where the president and the incoming president are meeting was the time that Bill Clinton said it really hit him that he was president, that all this stuff he'd been talking about in the abstract was his. And we should remember that today Donald Trump is going to learn about things or feel the weight of things that are in the deepest secrets of the federal government. Barack Obama learned about the cyber hacking operation against the Iranians on Inauguration Day. He also learned there was a terrorist plot on the mall, and he had a script in his pocket that if the terrorist plot went down, he was going to read evacuation instructions on that day. It is a day where you learn serious things are happening.
We just got a shot there. That was Susie Wiles, who is going to be the first female chief of staff in the White House. She rules with an iron fist, and many people credit her with not only the success of.
Okay, so let's go back to the White House and not listen to the whack commentary. Well, it's okay. It's the chief of staff lady that they were talking about. She is pretty good. She's like a pit bull for Trump, so it's good. Like, she gonna make sure he don't get it, like have shady people, part of his cabinets, turn on him. Even like Steve Bannon, you know, these people was not loyal in the end. As Vice President Vance and Kamala.
Very well, thank you.
Great, thank you.
You gotta go around, man. What are you doing?
Thank you, sir.
So awkward. He's telling like the cameraman and them to stay warm. You know, they get paid. Don't worry about the cameraman. Media people, they get paid to get some good money to be out there doing that stuff. So it's pretty interesting, you know. Okay. So that's Vance and Kamala on their way to the inauguration. Okay, so now it's time for us to see the big boys.
Here they are. Let's listen in.
Could you imagine that car ride with Trump and Biden heading to the ceremony? Oh yeah, it's hardcore. Okay. They pulled off. I don't know what they were looking at.
All right. The world watches this peaceful transition of power in the United States.
Yeah, Joe Biden was in Charleston, South Carolina yesterday, and he made some comments about the 3 Israeli women who were released. And then he had a building and museum dedication in Charleston. And one of the things that he said is that he's not going away. He's not disappearing. And you wonder what his post-presidency life will be like at age 82.
Yeah, he need to retire.
Largely spent in Wilmington, Delaware, Rehoboth Beach, where he spent so many weekends as as president, and enter Donald Trump, who has the energy sometimes of 100 men, Dana, and we have seen it. We've talked about going back on Trump time, and we've talked to our colleagues of younger age who were not working with us during the first term. Donald Trump gets more done before noon than most of us do in an entire week. So get ready. It's back. Trump time.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart.
I don't know why they had these stupid clips on the end of the videos. Everybody wanna. I understand. I get it. I'm gonna shut up and not comment on that. Okay, so now let's get into the ceremony and see the arrivals and the people come in for that. And like I said, I grabbed a bunch of clips to try to keep this organized in chronological order from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. So let's jump straight in it because we got a lot of clips to play. A lot. And this is his cabinet coming in, like Trump's cabinet. So, like all the people that's getting confirmed by the Senate and all that stuff. He's his cabinet. All the people, Treasury, CIA, FBI, you know what I'm saying, Pentagon, all the people that's gonna be part of his cabinet. It's awesome. Awesome. Now Vivek Ramaswamy, the gentleman, Indian gentleman right there in front of Tulsi Gabbard, he was supposed to be part of the cabinet, but I think he's trying to become senator of Ohio or governor of Ohio. So that's an interesting situation that's going on there. So we're looking at his cabinet. Toby Gabbard, she's green suit outfit on. Okay, let's see how this looks. You know, I guess I can keep letting it play while I talk it out. You know, let's go back a little bit. Yeah. So, you know, some powerful people in that room, and it literally, look at Silicon Valley and all the people there. That's the cabinet. But also, you're gonna see Tim Cook, Apple, the Google owner, CEO, and everybody. Excuse me. Elon Musk, all of them. That's the cabinet right there. But the people that's gonna be there with them, that's the equivalent of like $3 trillion in that room. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Very interesting. Okay, we're gonna let that go. Let's go to the next clip. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton showing up. The presidents, you know. That's Tim Cook, the owner, the CEO of Apple, and I think that was Goodell for the NFL. That's Amazon, and his wife, what's his name? I don't know the guy from Amazon's name. I said Jeff Bezos. Yeah, that's him. I don't know. See who that is. Oh, that's Mark Zuckerberg with them too. He was going in the door. A lot of people that's going in there. So senators and that was what's his, he's the mayor of New York. Went through hell. Mitch McConnell. What's his name? It's crazy. Those are the, yeah. It's so many people. There's just so many people. That's right here. This is he's the mayor of New York. What's his name? Gosh. Man. Sorry about that, guys. Rudy Giuliani. It's ridiculous that I can't even remember that. So see what I'm telling you guys? My brain is mush. There you go, right there. Rudy Giuliani. I don't see who that is. I know there's important people. There's Giuliani and it's a bunch of people. It's everybody there. They got a name. They got prompt. There's Mitch McConnell, Snack. That's Old House. That's Jeff Boehner or Jim Boehner. I can't remember his name. That's Newt Gingrich. Vivek Ramaswamy.
Good morning, Mr. Leader. Good morning. How do you feel this morning, sir?
Chuck Schumer. Yeah, Buffalo Bills lost. That's the new speaker right there.
It's exciting. Bright, sunny outside, bright in our hearts.
Sir, what are you expecting on executive orders?
A lot. We'll see.
Thank you.
Elon Musk. And senators. Everybody there. They fought not to be there the first time, but the second time they know he's part of history. You better be there. You better be there with him. You know, very interesting. Okay, let's continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice of the United States, the Honorable John G. Roberts Jr., and the ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on a second. This ain't right because we gotta let the presidents come in first.
The 42nd President of the United States, the Honorable William J. Clinton, accompanied by the Honorable Hillary Rodham Clinton.
The former president having campaigned for both Joe Biden and then for Kamala Harris when she was the top of the ticket. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Just honored by President Biden at the White House, Mary.
Yeah, and really a remarkable ceremony. Joe Biden gathering some really amazing names, a wide swath of people to honor, including Hillary Clinton. What an arc for Hillary Clinton, though, to be in the room today, given, of course, what it was like for her 8 years ago during this very moment.
She said it took years to get over how close that loss was. You saw her reach over and shake Susie Wiles' hand. Susie Wiles, right there in center frame. Of course, she will make history as Chief of Staff.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 43rd President of the United States, the Honorable George W. Bush, accompanied by Mrs. Laura Bush.
John Carl, many had asked if George W. Bush would make any kind of political statement given these politically polarized times. And for those of us who have covered him for years, we would often say that is very unlikely.
William J. Clinton.
Yeah, he's a shithead, Bush, because we could have lost this country, man, and he would have been an innocent bystander to the destruction of this country. So you give no respect from me, piece of shit. So you go back into Texas in the backwoods to your ranch. We don't want to see you again.
accompanied by Mrs. Laura Bush.
John Carl, many had asked if George W. Bush would make any kind of political statement given these politically polarized times. And for those of us who have covered him for years, we would often say that is very unlikely.
He sat it out. Look, no love lost between him and Donald Trump, but George W. Bush...
Not interested.
Not interested in getting involved.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th President of the United States, the Honorable Barack H. Obama.
Because his she-woman of a wife ain't there, you know, with her crazy ass. Michelle Obama's a mess, man. A mess, man. So look, I'm not even gonna get started. That's a different episode.
Mary Jordan, Barack Obama, being applauded by that room as he walks by. And all these different relationships. Actually, we were talking about this earlier. Lindsay was alluding to it as well. You know, the Bush political dynasty, the Clintons, Hillary Clinton trying it, Barack Obama obviously serving, and then his vice president, Joe Biden, running years later and becoming president. But Michelle Obama not attending, and people will notice that.
Okay. Yeah, they will notice that. But she's a knucklehead. So what are you going to do? Okay. Next.
Keeping till they'll be from your mountains grand and go through this land. You love you, people to me. Oh, America, you're calling. Oh, I can hear you calling me. You are calling. To pay to thee, oh, I will be. And we will be as one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What's going on? Where like, what? I didn't know that they cover my face. What? You cover me? Why they cover me? Oh, man. I didn't even notice that. I was so into watching him that I didn't even know that I wasn't on the screen. It was good, though. It was good. Love it. Love it. Love it.
The incoming First Lady, Melania
What
Trump,
a
arrives
hat.
in the rotunda.
What a hat. I don't know why it's acting up on this. Okay, let's have her come in again.
The incoming First Lady, Melania Trump, arrives at the rotunda.
Javits designed that hat, and as we know, there were enormous number of designers who wanted her to wear either a hat or a coat or a dress today. So it's a big deal for Adam Lippis, who made the coat, and Eric Javits, who made that hat.
Interesting. Interesting. Barron's so tall, ain't he? Barron Trump. Okay, next clip. Oh, this is a longer clip. I'm sorry. It's my fault. That's my fault. This is a little longer clip for them. Okay. So quiet. Wow. Not even a...
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the President of the United States and the Vice President of the United States, ranking member of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Deb Fischer, House Democratic Leader, the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, and Senate Majority Secretary, the Honorable Robert Duncan. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, the Honorable Joseph R. Biden Jr., and Vice President of the United States, the Honorable Kamala Davy Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the Vice President-elect, the Executive Director for the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, Mr. Michael Wagner, Senate Deputy Sergeant-at-Arms and Doorkeeper, Jason Bell, and House Deputy Sergeant-at-Arms, Mr. Sean Keating. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President-elect of the United States, the Honorable J.D. Vance.
There you go. Oh, yeah. I feel like it was just a day. It was going on, you know? Yeah, look, y'all. YouTube shut down my stream, you know, because I guess they didn't want me playing C-SPAN, which C-SPAN is a public platform, so it's free to the public. So it's not like I'm having copyright infringement on the American citizens product. You get what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother situation. So, you know, that's why we gotta we gotta enjoy it together right now. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the
pomp and circumstance. Yeah.
President-elect, the Staff Director for the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, Elizabeth Farah. House Sergeant-at-Arms, the Honorable William P. McFarland. Senate Sergeant-at-Arms and Doorkeeper, the Honorable Jennifer A. Hemingway. Senate Majority Leader, the Honorable John Thune. And the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, House Democratic Leader, the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries. House Majority Leader, the Honorable Steve Scalise. Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Mike Johnson. Senate Democratic Leader, the Honorable Charles E. Schumer. Ranking Member of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Deb Fischer. And Chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar. Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect of the United States, the Honorable Donald John Trump.
That dude, he's that dude. Look, man, he fought for our freedoms, man. I don't care what y'all find this out 20 to 30 years from now. He fought for the freedom of American citizens, man, for real. You know, he ain't part of the problem of how much freedom you have and how much freedom you don't have. Donald J. Trump ain't, you know. If you know, he really did his part, man. He really did. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next clip, and I guess it's the ceremonies, right? The ceremonies. Let's see what's going on here. Nope. Step back. Let's see what this is. The ceremonies. The ceremonies. Okay, so what's the next clip? So let's see what the next one is.
Please raise your right hand.
Okay, so they're gonna swear him in. Let me make sure that I don't have one that I don't want to show yet. Which one is this? What is this? Okay, I see what's going on here. See what's going on here, and I see what's going on here. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do the oath. Now, I think Carrie Underwood came out before they did the oath, right? I think they did.
The words help me out here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Yeah, because the music wasn't playing or something that she was gonna sing along to. But she did good. She did good. Okay. So now let's go to the swearing in. Okay.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear.
I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith.
That I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same.
and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation.
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office.
the duties of the office
On which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Vice President.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Justice Roberts to administer the presidential oath of office.
Yeah, now they went a little bit too fast on this because Melania, she had to get up there to bring the Bible to him, but I think they started before she got up there. So that's why you always hear about them saying that he didn't put his hand on the Bible and everything like that, because I think it was a little lag, but I'm going to let you guys watch it.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Yeah, like that's like let me watch that again, cause he's talking to her, but she's still right behind him, like her seating area. Walk up there with him. You the first lady, you know.
Your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Okay. Now, I'll let you guys, like, he did give a speech, and so I don't want to, it's 30 minutes, so I don't want to take you all the way through that. Maybe I'll do a separate episode on that, but let's just listen to a few minutes of it.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you the 45th and the 40th.
Trying to see what happened after he after his swearing in. Okay, so I get some more pomp and circumstance music. Okay, so I think one of the pastors did I think he came in with his speech. So let's go look at some of that.
Justices of the United States Supreme Court, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins right now.
Start off raw.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. during every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
Absolutely.
Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end.
Oh, yeah.
And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free. America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before. I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country, sunlight is pouring over the entire world, and America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly. And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn from weeks ago without even a token of defense. They're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly.
Okay, so like I said, we're not gonna play the whole thing, but that kind of give you the gist of it all. And then so we're gonna play the pastor that kind of did the benediction to lead us out, because I love his presentation. And then we're gonna go to Biden flying out of here, flying out, leaving, it's giving him a farewell, goodbye, and then we'll move into I think he did some executive orders right after the ceremony. And then I think we're gonna go into I think it's ceremonies that's afterwards, like what was supposed to be in the parade, but it's certain ceremonies that they set up because they wouldn't be able to do the parade outside, and they weren't going to the inauguration night. But we're gonna do the inauguration night, and we're gonna do the parade type of things to pump the kind of the military band and the salutes, the first honor for the president. Whew. And we're gonna do the first honor for the president in the inauguration balls coverage, and what's going on actually is the first honor is the speeches and the parades situations that's going on in the stadium, in the Capital One Stadium, and then we're gonna do the inauguration ball. We're gonna do those together, because they're pretty much entertainment and music and stuff like that, and different little things is going on in the aftermath of the ceremony. But what we're gonna do is, like I said, is the pastor that from Detroit. He's gonna give his my hometown. He's gonna give his benediction. We're gonna see Biden lift off and go farewell. And then we're gonna see Trump do an executive order, and then we're gonna end this episode, and then we're gonna come back with the actual party and the celebratory situations, and but we're gonna start that with the first honor. Okay, so right now we're going to the benediction of the ceremony for the inauguration, and let's send this in.
Heavenly Father, we're so grateful that you gave our 45th and now our 47th president a millimeter miracle. We are grateful that you are the one that have called him for such a time as this, that America would begin to dream again. We pray that we would fulfill the true meaning of our creed, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. We pray that you use our president, that we will live in a nation where we will not be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we are so grateful today that you will use our 47th president, so we would sing with new meaning, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and because America is called to be a great nation, we believe that you will make this come true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. Or from the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous hilltops of California, but God, we're asking you not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day where all of your children, black men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile, will be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank you, God Almighty. We are free at last. If you believe where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Come on, put your hands together and give your great God great glory.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. Yeah.
Colorado,
Okay, so like I said, now let's see Biden off. Bon voyage. Bon voyage. I guess the vice president and Hoffs and all them, they said they goodbyes, and then I guess Vance, I'm thinking Vance and his wife is gonna see off Kamala and them, so go walk over to the escort for the vice president and see them off, while Trump and Melania they see off Biden and Dr. Jill Biden, you know what I mean? So I think that's what's going on here. Yep. So see, like that, they're walking to the escort for the vice president, because she goes out in the motorcade. The president goes off into the helicopter to the Air Force One and fly him out for the last time. But I think Vance and his wife walks over with them to see them off, which there's a lot of hatred there. So I'm talking about Kamala got hatred for them, so but I guess they play it off pretty well. Well, they just watched them load up. Bye. Bon voyage. So now Trump and President Trump and First Lady Melania, I'm sorry, and President Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, they walk over to the helicopters. So President Trump and Melania could see them off. Melania holding on to that hat. A little windy out there. Holding on to that hat. Yeah, they gotta get him away. Hey, you the president. Get away from that helicopter. Just in case anything go wrong. We can't have you get wiped out on your first day. Probably your first hour. What happened? Why did that repeat? Why did it not take off? I wanted to see it fly away. Come on, y'all. Where's my clip at? I want to see them just kind of go watch it and we don't see them fly off. Come on. Let me see if do I got it? Oh, that's wild, man. I wanted to see that. Oh, I might have to start the next episode with that so we can see a proper fly off. What the? Okay, so let's go to him signing executive orders. That's crazy.
Might not be here. It's the next step. It's a tradition.
Sir, the first is 22 cabinet and cabinet level appointments for your signature.
Okay.
The next one will be, excuse me. Next one will be 47 sub-cabinet level appointments, sir.
But you don't have to sign.
Yeah. Speaker Johnson in the way.
Thank you, sir. Now 31 acting designations and appointments to effectively take control of the government.
Wow.
Let's do that.
Absolutely. Let's do that. Yeah, I feel you.
Thank you, sir. Now 31 acting designations and appointments to effectively take control of the government.
Let's do that.
That's important.
That's important.
Thank you. and we have 15 commission chairman and acting chairman appointments.
Send him.
Commission chairman and acting chairman.
He was number one at Harvard also. You know that? He was number.
Good counsel.
They have something in common.
Thank you, sir. Lastly, we have a proclamation ordering that on all future inauguration days, including this inauguration day, that flags shall be flown at full mast. Very important.
That was a beautiful place to have an inauguration tonight. The sound was so good. The temperature was 72 degrees, but the sound was so good. Maybe something to think about.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good acoustics. Yes.
All right. Now
That's
thank
it.
you. We go to lunch.
Great. Very
Nice
good.
to meet you. Thank you very much. There you go. Take that. All right. See you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sir.
They get those pins, okay. But so then they have a luncheon. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of the luncheon, and then we're gonna end this episode, and then we'll come back in with the music, the pumping circumstances, the rally for the parade, and all that stuff like that. Then we go into the inauguration, and we're gonna do that all in one episode. And that will be our. Technically, I think that'll be our 4th episode, so it will be a total of 4 episodes. 5 because we have the aftermath too. Okay, so let's see a little bit of the luncheon.
Please remain at your seats as President Trump, Vice President Vance, the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, and the official party depart National Statuary Hall.
So I guess this is the aftermath of it, after they eat lunch and stuff. Because they don't let you see them eat lunch and everything like that. But they did say some pumping circumstances, and they had some speeches and stuff like that. But it's nothing important. Just kind of let you see a little bit of the luncheon. So that's them saying they gave them some glasses and everything like that. So it's more of them kind of talking to each other. But they ate lunch. They did some toast and some celebratory to welcome him into the presidency as the president and everything like that. I may do a separate little clip of it and everything like that. If you guys want, I'll come back to the luncheon when I show Biden taking off on the helicopter on the beginning of the next episode. Okay, so this is their little luncheon and everything like that. Maybe I'll go a little bit deeper into it on the next episode, just so you can kind of see some of the speeches and some of the things that they said and everything like that. But that's going to be the end of this episode, and we're going to go into like the music, the parades, the military plan music and stuff. And it's they do some parades and different things inside of the stadium at the Capital One Center. And then we're going to go into the inauguration balls and stuff like that and see a little bit of that. And then we're going to call it a day, let you see some of the aftermath of what was going on the aftermath of it and everything. Some of the swearing ins of some of the cabinet members and everything like that, and just different little stuff going on with the deportation and all that stuff in the first week, and the executive orders that he did on the first week, and the deportations he did on the first week and stuff like that. We're gonna go over all that, okay? And I'm gonna try to get you through it as fast as I can. But this is Individual Perspective Podcast. I need you guys to hit the like, follow, and subscribe, okay? Like, follow, subscribe, okay? If you guys can, put $1, $2, $5 into the Venmo and the PayPal. We got to level this podcast up. We want to have guests, panels where we can talk about everything, the relationships, the dynamics of the society and politics and everything. But in order for me to bring extra people in, I need you guys to help us out, okay? Okay, so that would be about it on this episode. In the next episode, like I said, it's gonna be the bands and the inauguration ball and different things like that. Okay. So my name is Daris D. McKinney. This is Individual Perspective Podcast, and I will see you guys on the next episode, which we do the last major load of showing you what happened on the inauguration. Okay, see you guys in the next one.